Hello and welcome to Tarot Siddhi at voicesandviews.com. My name is Prasiddhi Mishra and I'm a tarot reader. Today I'm going to start with the formal introduction to all the cards, 78 cards in tarot. Now in a tarot pack, these 78 cards are divided in the major and a minor arcana. Arcana is an ancient word which actually means a section. So 22 cards comprise of the major arcana and I'm going to start talking about them. They're numbered from 0 to 21 and the card number 0 is the Fool, and it's the very first card of a tarot pack. It's the most important card in the entire journey of tarot that we'll undertake here. And before I start explaining you the meaning of this card, let me tell you that I'm not going to explain the bookish meanings or so much information and reams of information actually, which is available online as well. What I'm going to talk about is, as a reader, as a professional tarot reader, that one word that is always in my mind when I see a card. And because you cannot carry the entire bookish knowledge with you all the time, but that one association that you will form with that card will stay on forever. And that one word will help you tune into yourself, your intuition, and all the spreads that you are taking out that I explained further. Then that one word will actually be a very important guideline while you start reading and interpreting a card in a particular spread. So when we talk about the Fool, it's actually the beginning of a journey, the very first card of tarot. And here there's a man depicted who has a rose in his hand. Most of the tarot decks give him a rose in his hand. And there's a staff and there's a little bag that he's carrying. He's beginning a journey. But then when you look at the ground, there's no ground, it's the top of a cliff. And he's about to fall from the cliff. So it's a very risky beginning, you can say. It's not easy, which also means that when we start something new in our lives, it's always difficult, it's always risky. But that doesn't mean we don't go down that path. We might just completely fall and hurt ourselves, or maybe the hand of God will save us. It's the leap of faith that our hero is actually taking, because every hero is a fool to begin with. There's a dog who's barking at him, stopping him, basically don't go, but he's not paying attention to the dog. The dog stands for our friends, our well-wishers, our family members, anybody who cares for us and stops us into taking a risky decision or starting a risky journey. So basically these are the things that you will catch when you look at the card. But then in one word, if I describe this card to you, it means a new beginning, and it could be a risky beginning. It's not a very easy beginning. You might feel foolish, you might feel that, oh my God, this is not the wisest thing that I'm doing in life, but I have to do it because I'm listening to my heart. Well, this is the energy of this card. It's following your own dreams, listening to your own music and dancing to your own tune. It's not going to be easy, but it's the most important step you will take in your life. And that's what our hero is doing here. He looks like a fool, he's called the Fool, but this is the most important thing that he's doing, because once his journey started, he will go on to become the magician. But hey, I have one more thing to tell you. When this card comes in your spread, and you as a tarot reader will have a choice to allow your cards to get shuffled in any which way, reversed or straight. And when you deal them out on the table, they could come out reversed, they could come out straight, or they could just simply jump out. This always happens with tarot cards, just jump out, and that's the magic. You have asked a question, you've thought about something, you have not drawn the card out, yet it's coming out, which means special message. You have to pay attention to that card. Now if our Fool comes reversed, what could it mean? Now when it's coming straight, it means the beginning of a new journey. So if it's coming reversed, it means that the journey is maybe blocked. It doesn't mean that the journey won't happen. There is a definite beginning here because the Fool has showed up. But because it's reversed, there's a block there. Maybe there's something that the cards are trying to tell you, that this beginning is maybe getting delayed, maybe getting postponed, definitely not cancelled, but a little delayed and a little postponed. And what could be the reason? Now, what could be the reason? The cards which are close to the Fool, the other card that you will draw after the Fool in your tarot reading, will give you a hint of that. So you'll learn how to correlate the two cards and then form a meaning out of that. Your intuition will guide you. That's the most important thing in tarot. So when the Fool is reversed, it could also mean that somebody is trying to be very wise. Yet that person is not very wise. That person is actually a fool, but is trying to be wise. It's trying to run away from the foolishness that they have. And it's not bad. We all know something in our heart that, it's not the wisest thing, but let's do it. So maybe that is the energy that this card is trying to tell you. So, and you will find your own meanings, as I said, when you start looking deeper into a card, and when you know how it means when it's straight, the reverse meaning will automatically present itself to you. In the books, you'll find a billion meanings to reversed cards. They could be very, very negative. They could be very, very filled with warnings, negative warnings, but don't pay attention to that. It's your feeling, when what you feel about a card, that's most important as a tarot reader, and that's what you tell the person you're reading for. It's not negative to see cards reversed. The meaning is reversed. It's not negative. So that's a very, very important thing I want to clarify here. A lot of tarot readers do not like their cards reversed because they say there's enough negativity in the tarot deck according to them. And if it's reversed, it's even more complicated. It's not. It's just how you're looking at it. Now we move on to the second card of our journey, but it's a card number 1 actually. It's the Magician. And Magician is followed by the Fool. So what this basically means is, if you look at this like a storybook, the Fool made his journey, he started his journey, he jumped from the cliff, and he tried doing whatever he could to start his journey, maybe professionally, maybe in his personal life, he took a plunge, he got married, whatever it is. But now after he's on this journey, now he's starting to become a pro, he's starting to pick up information in life. As you can see, the Magician has this eternity symbol, which is like an inversed, inversed 8, and not really inverse but a little tilted, and he's got a staff in his hand, a magic wand, and on the table he has all the 4 suits of the tarot displayed here. There's a coin kept, there's a cup, there's a sword, and then you will see a lot of other things. There's a wand here and a lot of other small stuff, things kept on the table. This just means that this man has all the tools at his disposal. He will use money, he will use emotions, he will use his entrepreneurial spirit, he will use his mental faculties, his intelligence, anything to get his work done. This man is starting to become smart now. He's a worldly man, and he's picked up all these little tricks on the paths. He was a fool, he was a very, very romantic guy, but now he's becoming a little bit more practical. And when you see the Magician in a tarot spread, it means that, it's resourcefulness in one word. This person will do anything to get their ends, to meet their ends, and they will probably trick you also a little bit. So this man is very good in the way he talks because he has mastery over the emotions. He's got a lot of money in his hands, he's got a lot of other tools in his hands. So when you meet the Magician, you cannot trust him really because he's a magician, he might be putting tricks on you. So the name will have its own meaning for you. The imagery can have its meaning for you, and since there's a divine intervention happening here because of this 8 symbol, a little tilted 8, it means divinity, eternity. So, which also means that this is a gift from God to him. You took a step here, you started something new. Now this is a gift from God to you. You start your journey with all the tools that you can use on earth. So when Magician comes, this man could be tricking because he's a magician. This man could be very, very smart. It depicts a woman also. It's really not, that is just a man. It could be a woman. Somebody who's very, very prolific in all the arts that they have, very well spoken, very articulate person. That will always be the case. This card can also depict a human being in a tarot reading. So it can play the double role. It could mean a quality and it could mean a human being also. And if the Magician goes reversed, what could that be? Somebody is really tricking you. This person cannot be trusted. It's that simple. And how do I know that? Because I feel that. Every time this card comes reversed, when you see that, you know that either somebody has all the knowledge and they're not applying it because they have all the knowledge but the table is reversed, and they're cheating themselves and they're doing that because they have it all and yet they feel and they say that they have nothing. So you meet a lot of these kind of people in life, and when you're learning tarot, try to fit the people that you know with the cards that are in your hand. That way you will start understanding the cards better, and that will make it very, very easy for you to relate to these cards. Again, what a magician could mean, it could mean a lot of these things, but in the purview of a magician, somebody who's got a lot of things going well for him, somebody who could be tricking you. These are the 2-3 words that you keep in mind, but otherwise keep your mind open, because when you put this card in a relationship spread, it could mean something about the lover. When you could put this card in a financial reading spread, it could mean somebody who handles their money, very smart guy, but not someone you can trust. So there are a lot of things that this card can point out towards, a lot of qualities. And when this comes as a suggestion card, because very often we ask tarot, please advise us what to do, because ultimately we are using tarot as an advice tool. It's going to help us out. It's guiding us. So when a magician comes in the position of somebody, like I make a spread and I say, okay, the fourth card should tell me what is the guidance. And in that place, this card comes. It just means that I have everything within me, everything that I need is already provided to me. I just need to be a little bit more confident and go ahead with my project and go ahead with whatever it is that is in my mind. And I have to be the magician in my life. I have to create magic. I have to take things in my hands and make them happen. So this is what this card would mean. And if it's coming reversed, it just means that you need to be a little bit more careful. You might be cheating yourself here and there, and maybe you just can't do much in this situation. You should let life guide you. This brings us to the end of today's episode. We started our journey with the Fool, went on to the Magician, and in the next episode, I'll introduce you to the High Priestess and the Empress, two very, very impressive ladies in the world of tarot. I also wanted to remind you that along with this episode, we are also uploading a new video on tarot meditations. This will also delve deeper into the world of meditating with tarot. This will help you to relate to your tarot cards even better. So I'll see you next week. Happy living.